We're here with Josh Primo out in LA. I just finished a workout this morning. Josh, appreciate you taking the time, man.
Thank you for having me.
For people watching this who maybe don't know much about you as a player, how would you describe your game?
A lot of people would say that I shoot the ball really well, which is true. But I think that what a lot of people don't know is that I can create for my teammates really well. I'm a creator, like first and foremost.
Yeah, so as you start this first clip here, I think, a big part of your intrigue is obviously your shooting, right? But I think this clip kind of shows all the little things that you did at Alabama. Can you kind of take me through, this possession here? Because I love, the ball movement, the making, crashing the glass from the weak side. Like, this kind of shows everything that you did this past season. If you want to run it back, just take me through kind of this possession and what you remember.
Right, absolutely. So going into this game and going into January, my idea was just to be really energetic, just try to be everywhere on the floor, and just do what my team needed at all times, and then just making sure that we kept possession. So going into there, just making my read coming downhill, and then making my pass relocating. That's something that I put a big emphasis on, relocating. That's how I gained a lot of open shots, and then my teammates find me. So
yeah, I think this kind of shows all of it, right? Crash from the weak side, quick swing, attack off the dribble, kick to Herb Jones, and then relocate like you said. And then anytime you can catch on the hop like that, it's usually cash. When you're shooting the ball well, what are some of the things that you're doing, like mechanically?
Staying low. It's the preparation for me. Staying low, keeping my hands ready, and then just letting it be fluid. Once I catch the ball, it's up. It's no hesitation.
And then the second clip here in the SEC tournament against Mississippi State, another situation where, like, just to show your ability to kind of make those reads, like you said, right? Kick out and relocate. Take me through this play.
Okay, so here when I caught the ball, Herb told me just go, because they decided, I guess, that they wanted. With our team, we're so versatile. Yep. Mississippi State had two bigs on the floor, so one of them had to guard a guard, and Herb was our point guard at the time, so it was unlucky he had to guard me. So he gave it out to me. I attacked, got it out to him as the defender helped in, and then I relocated, and Herb found me again.
Yeah, that's huge, and I think you're going to be more ready at the next level than people think, probably because you're used to playing with other good players, right? Like you played next to Herb Jones, you played next to John Petty, you played next to all these guys, who have experience. All right, clip number 2 here against LSU, just to show your ability to shoot the ball on the move here. I mean, hands and feet are ready, catching on the hop. Do you feel like you're somebody who can shoot out of multiple actions and be kind of a weapon as a shooter?
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't run many plays, but this particular one, it was a play because both me and JP had hit, I think, 2 or 3 threes already, so it was a lot of confusion in that play. So just coming off screens, and I worked on this all the time, just coming off the handoff from Herb and just knocking it down.
Yeah, I mean, that's picture perfect right there. Great balance. Like you said, it starts with your base, and you see this from a lot of the best, guards, wings in the NBA, Brad Beal, CJ McCollum, Devin Booker. Is there anyone that you're watching in the NBA now and saying, I like to study that guy, or maybe I could play that type of role?
Absolutely. Devin Booker, he's a big one for me. Bradley Beal, they come off a lot of handoffs and situations where they're coming with a head of steam and they're attacking downhill, and you just got to make those reads, and I think I'm really good at that.
Yeah, definitely. And then this clip here against Georgia is just to show, okay, so we've seen you in the catch and shoot situations, and then also being comfortable, in pick and roll and being able to just kind of hop into these, right? What do you see here in the defense that allows you to kind of rise up like that?
All right, so on this one, they're in a switch, honestly. So when I come off, I'm looking to attack, but when I see a guy just backed up on me like that, it's an easy read for me. I just need to shoot it.
Yeah, the best teams will say you got to switch up when you switch, right? And he definitely doesn't do that.
No.
Forgets the scouting report on the hop, easy money. And then just to show another one here against Oklahoma, being able to play off of these kind of hesitations too, right?
Right. It was all about rhythm here. I think we had needed a bucket here and just trying to be as aggressive as possible. And when someone backs up, I just keep that rhythm dribble, and it's easy from there. Just let it fly.
And then creating space a little bit too here against Kentucky. We saw you showing a little bit of the step back game today. What's the key to this move?
Honestly, it's all about attacking. It's all about making him back up, and when I see that he turns his hips, that's when I stop on a dime and I make that shot.
So making him think that you're getting downhill to the rim, he's backing up, then you just rely on your footwork, your balance, your touch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a big time shot right there. Okay, here, so this next clip against, I think on the road against Arkansas, so you had freedom to just pull from deep, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, when we came down the court, he always was cool with us coming down and taking transition threes. Mid-range wasn't something that he wanted because of the efficiency levels, and that's what we worked on all year, is just efficiency. So coming down and shooting the transition three, we had all the freedom in the world to do that. Probably wasn't the best shot at the time, being that the defense was already set. Probably could have gotten something else, but you learn from that and you move on.
And you had that green light, so I'm not mad at you there, but I think you had moments like this to show this playmaking, right, against Auburn.
Right.
I love the vision there with these hit-aheads. Like, I think you were at your best when you made these type of reads too. What do you see here in the defense against Auburn here? This cross-court hit?
I see from the jump that nobody's guarding Shaq because everybody's pulled over to the strong side. So once I see that who's the number 13 there, he's sitting in the key, it's an easy read because Shaq's a knockdown shooter.
Yeah, you guys had shooters pretty much at every position.
Yeah.
So yeah, the great hit ahead, great read. Playing that style. I think vets will love playing with you. When you're moving it ahead like that. Okay, so I know one emphasis too has been the ball handling. Showing that you can play on the ball and all that, right? What do you remember about this play here, and what do you see against Auburn as they're kind of trying to heat you up? Anything you would have done differently?
Here, honestly, I would have gone by. I think I was too worried about getting off the ball here, and I didn't trust my handle enough. So going back there, I think I would have just gone by because Oates loves when we make reads. He doesn't want us to just play robotic, and that's what the NBA is, honestly. So just making that read to go downhill, and see what my new reads are from there instead of just playing robotic and just
being tentative.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I saw today, like, you worked so much on the pick and roll setups too, right? Like running your man into the screen, being physical with the coaches,
right.
And I think that the work you put in there too is going to allow you to like run this guy probably into these screens too, right?
Yeah, exactly. In this one, I think I rushed it a bit too much, and when I did that, it allowed him to get over the screen and start to push me back towards his help. And then I put up a flutter, which probably wasn't the best read at that point. But I think if I could have gotten him lower and gotten him to actually get hit by Reese, then it would have been a lot easier to make my reads.
And I know you have the touch on the floaters too. We've seen that, right? You have great footwork, great touch, and I think that's going to be a part of your game at the next level. And then this one here, so this is earlier in the year, right? So ETSU. And just to show kind of your progression as we go through this and the progress that you've made. So, okay, they're icing this again, right?
Right.
Kind of semi-transition. What do you see as the options here?
The pull behind.
Yeah.
Like right away.
To the pop?
Exactly, to JB over there at the slot. As soon as I see two defenders came with me, I should have let it fly right there. Right back to him because JB's a knockdown shooter. I talked to him about that right after. I knew I missed him.
And no, that's a great point right away. You recognize it, right? So just a quick hit, maybe off the dribble even, being able to make that. And this next clip shows exactly what you're able to do in pick and roll, right? So this is against Ole Miss. this is the playmaking ability you're talking about, right?
Yep.
So you're going to bust out of the corner, come off this handoff. What are you reading in the defense here? Like, what are you looking at with whether it's the big defender or the weak side?
I'm looking at the tag man. In this case, he wasn't even ready. He wasn't ready yet. It was gonna be too slow for. He was gonna be too slow for him to get there. And all I had to do was just put that pass ahead of him, and it was an easy finish for JB.
Yeah, it's a great pass. And just like you said, so the big, he's easily gonna get behind him, right? And then that weak side tag. So if he helps, then what do you have?
Then I have that shake pass right there.
Yep.
To Herb.
Right to Herb, right?
Hit that for sure.
Yeah, no question. And so I think that shows your ability to think the game on the fly, just like you said. Really impressive stuff with your ability to pass, dribble, shoot, all that. And okay, so then finishing, right? I saw you punching a few today, right? Looking athletic. What do you see on this one?
On this one, definitely should have dunked that.
Punch it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I talked to John Petty about this. He immediately said, "Go dunk that," because honestly, I have that type of bounce and I can get up quick, and that's an easy flush.
Yeah, 6'6", 6'10" wingspan, bouncy, strong, and this next clip shows exactly what you have, right? So here against Arkansas, you see Tate kind of retreating, and you just go right through him. I mean, that's that grown man strength you're talking about, right?
Absolutely. Just going right at my defender, trying to make contact in the restricted area, get him buried under the basket, so I can make that finish easier.
Yeah, that's a big time finish right there, and that's only going to continue as you continue to grow. All right, so here against Florida too, I'm curious on this one. Okay, so what are you seeing here as you attack, and what are your options from a finishing standpoint?
I get downhill here, and I think what I have here is either the pass to Keon Ellis or getting to my mid-range game. I think that he's ready for me to get straight to the basket. He wants to block me. But if I can get right to that SEC logo, he's already running right by me, and that's an easy shot for me. And
you have that in your game for sure. And even you'll see from Shea, right? He's really good with that same foot, same hand off the right, or with the left, some of that deception. I think you have that in your game as well, right?
Yeah.
And I'll show that on these next clips. So here, this is impressive. Jacksonville State, early in the year. This is NBA actions, those big steps, right? 1-2, inside hand finish. And you have some Euro game too, right?
Absolutely. I work on that every day. Just using my length to get to the paint with as little steps as possible, and then just using my inside hand to finish, get it away from any big man down there.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you just showed, you have that in your game. So winding down here, the defensive side of the ball, right? We're going to go through some of the off ball, some of the on ball. So here, this first one, South Carolina, okay? So you're on, AJ Lawson?
Yep.
Fellow Canadian?
Yes, sir.
U19 national team teammate?
My guy.
So what do you see here? So you're trying to communicate a switch, maybe?
Yeah, it was. I was trying to communicate for her to stay high on that switch.
Got you.
We didn't communicate it well. I just had to get around at that point. And once I see that it's not gonna happen, I just gotta get out there, or I just gotta stay attached.
Yeah.
Staying attached to that shooter and making sure that there's no space for him to go raise up.
Because if that's Clay, right, or Brad Beal, whatever, you're on his hip, you're chasing him, getting around that, right? I know he's not that. He's not them, but definitely I think you'll have that type of agility, at the next level. Okay, so here you got here, DJ Stewart. This next clip here against Mississippi State, what does he like to do?
He likes to get to his left hand, and I made the mistake of giving him that. I gave him middle to his left hand, and he took advantage of that. And that's just me needing to know my personnel and just read what they want to do and take that away.
Yeah, that's a great point. And if you look at this next clip, later in the year, SEC tournament, quarterfinal, late clock, you did exactly that, right?
Yep. And I knew that he wanted that chance to go one-on-one against me.
Yeah.
And from the last game, he had gotten me on that play, so I just knew that I wanted to stay solid. I knew I had help, but I wanted to make sure that I forced him into a tough shot.
Yeah, that's
especially going right. So
great defense. You sit on his left hand, force him to his right, and then if you look at the length there, you know, I mean, you do a really good job of contesting jump shooters. And just like you said earlier, I think you have that ability to be a big-time defender. And we'll show some of the clips here, okay? So underneath out-of-bounds play here against South Carolina, screen, and just like we talked about earlier, staying attached. I mean, that's perfect, man. And then, so what's your goal here? You want to be in position to help on the back screen and then stay attached?
Yep, exactly. I want to help a little bit, but not too much. That would have been her job to take that away. But I want to stay attached to the shooter, and once I eliminate the shot, then I just got to use the baseline as my second defender and get him into a tough shot.
Yeah, I mean, that's a clinic right there of how to defend, how to stay attached, how to sit down, slide, defend without fouling too. You're showing your hands. I mean, that's perfect. And then here, another one against BJ Boston. I mean, look how attached you are to his hip, right?
Yeah.
Giving him no space. And then, so you guys switch it, and then you get back?
Yep, so I switched with Juwan, I switched back. And then when I got back to him, I knew that he wanted to get to his mid-range game, so I had to stay close to him. There was no, I wanted to make sure there was no room for him to raise up on me. So when I did that, it just made it a tougher shot. I know BJ, he's gonna take and make some of those, but I just want to make it as tough as possible.
And that's the goal at the next level, right? Whether you're guarding Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, Brad Beal, all these guys, like, they all can score at a high level, right? It's just to make them as uncomfortable as possible.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what you did right there. I mean, that's perfect defense. And then this one too, even earlier in the year. So you're guarding, I think, Jajon Davis.
Yep.
So your goal is to what? Gap this and get through the handoff?
Yeah. We scouted that he wasn't going to be a threat to shoot behind the screen. So everything was just about whipping through fast enough that I would meet him on the other side and not give him too much space to make him feel comfortable, but just make sure that I'm right there on the other side, and then just being able to take the bump and continue to stay close to him and make him as comfortable as possible and force him into a tough shot with some help.
Just lastly here, you know, there are all these players who want to make it in the NBA, right? From all over the world now. It's become such a global game, and you know, there are other guys 6'6" with a 6'10" wingspan who can shoot the ball and are young and have talent, right? So why do you think, I guess, if you were making your case, you know, to NBA teams, and like, why should they bet on you as being somebody who can really break through and not just be like a roster guy, but be like a real contributor at the next level?
I think it's my energy.
Yeah.
I bring energy to my team every day. And I'm always going to be a good teammate, whether that's helping somebody when they're down, pushing my teammates. I'm never going to take a day off on somebody. And then just on the court being able to make plays consistently and do what's necessary. It may not always be scoring, but it's going to be something. I'm always going to make an impact when I'm on the court.
Yeah, whether it was BioSteel Futures game, 16-year-old playing at the U19s, Basketball Without Borders, Alabama. We've seen you play all these different roles and win really everywhere you've been. So it's been cool to watch your progress, your development, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.